Justice was served. That's what they said. That's what the records show. That's what the case summary concludes. Justice was served. I wasn't. If this story is touching you, comment below where you're watching from and what time it is there. I used to think justice was something you felt, a moment of relief, a sense of balance restored. I didn't know justice could exist without touching the person it was supposedly for. The process took years. Not dramatic years, administrative ones, filled with forms, deadlines, and waiting rooms that smelled like disinfectant and resignation. I showed up every time. I answered every question. I complied with every requirement. Because that's what people do when they believe the system exists to protect them. No one was openly hostile. No one yelled. No one threatened me. Everything happened calmly, professionally. That should have been comforting. It wasn't. From the beginning, people spoke in conclusions. Once this is resolved, when justice is served, after the ruling, they spoke as if the ending was already written. I didn't feel like a person. I felt like a variable. In court, language is precise, carefully chosen, stripped of excess. That includes emotion. When I spoke slowly, measured, because emotional people aren't considered reliable. I learned quickly what the system values. Consistency, documentation, predictability, not pain. Pain complicates narratives. Justice prefers clean ones. The opposing side presented their case flawlessly, prepared, confident. Every claim supported by evidence. I had evidence too, but mine came with context, with history, with things that didn't fit neatly into exhibits. The judge listened. I believe that. But listening doesn't guarantee understanding. When the ruling came, it was calm, controlled, delivered without drama. Justice was served. That phrase again. People nodded. Some even smiled. The system had worked. I sat there waiting for something. Relief, validation, anything. Nothing came. Instead, I felt smaller, as if something essential had been quietly removed. Afterward, people congratulated me. They said the outcome was fair, that the law had done its job. I smiled, because explaining felt pointless. In the days that followed, everything changed. Not externally, internally. The case was over. The attention gone. The concern evaporated. Justice had been served. So there was nothing left to address. That's when I understood the difference between justice and care. Justice concludes. Care continues. The ruling didn't give me back what I lost. It redistributed responsibility. That's not the same thing. On paper, the outcome was balanced. In life, it was devastating. I lost things no ruling could restore. Trust, security, my sense of belonging. People told me I should be grateful. The decision could have been worse. That's what they say when something bad happens legally. Worse isn't the standard when you're already broken. I replayed the hearings constantly, looking for the moment I could have done something differently, spoken better, presented myself more clearly. But the truth is uncomfortable. The outcome wasn't about me. It was about procedure, efficiency. Justice doesn't look backward. It resolves forward. I became hyper-aware of language. How often people say justice was served without asking who was fed. The system celebrated closure. I experienced loss. I tried to explain this to someone once. They said, but the ruling was fair. Fairness measured by rules doesn't account for aftermath. I wasn't angry at the judge or the lawyers. They did their jobs. That's what makes this worse. No one failed, and I still lost. Justice didn't consider how I would sleep afterward, how I would rebuild, how I would live with the outcome. It assumed resilience. It always does. In the weeks after, my body started reacting. Panic at official letters. Tightness in my chest when I heard formal language. Justice had left scars. Invisible ones. I sought help. Therapy. Support groups. Anywhere people understood institutional trauma. They did. They had heard this story before. Different details. Same ending. Justice served. Person abandoned. I learned something painful. Justice is not designed to heal. It is designed to end disputes. Those are not the same goal. People stopped asking about the case. They assumed closure meant peace. I stopped correcting them. because explaining felt like reopening something everyone else wanted sealed. The ruling followed me in how people saw me and how I saw myself. I felt marked, defined by an outcome I didn't control. I questioned my own memory, my own experience. Because when the law contradicts your pain, pain starts to feel illegitimate. That's the quiet violence of justice. It doesn't deny your suffering. It simply doesn't acknowledge it. I became cautious with words, afraid to sound bitter, afraid to seem ungrateful. Grateful for what? Being processed correctly? I don't hate the system. Hate would imply expectation. I feel disillusioned. I believe justice was about people. It's about order. Order was restored. I was not. Sometimes I imagine an alternate ending, one where someone asked how I was coping. Not legally, humanly, but courts don't ask that. They move on. Justice was served efficiently, impersonally, completely. I carry the rest. I've learned to live with unresolved endings, with questions that have no forum. I understand now. Justice can be served without mercy, without repair, without care. And when that happens, the ruling closes, the record stands, the system celebrates, and the person it was meant to protect walks away unseen. Justice was served. I wasn't.